Welcome to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and I pray you all eat well, enjoy each other's companies, and be safe while doing your Black Friday shopping. But stay tuned because you're watching the Tatyana Show. That is so amazing. So aside from the series, don't forget to tune in to the Tatyana Show November 7th.
Like it, some people move on past.
Man, you have future plans of, Welcome back to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and last week I had to give some disturbing news about Mississippi State football team and their loss against Alabama. But this week, I want to congratulate the boys on their win against Arkansas. Congratulations, you guys won 51-50. It was a very close game, and they gave it all they got, and they won. So I'm so happy, and I congratulate you guys, and I pray that you guys do that same performance in this upcoming game against Ole Miss, and I pray you guys bring home the Egg Bowl where it rightfully belongs, Hell State. But moving along, I know last week we found out that Charlie Sheen was HIV positive, but this week his ex-lovers wants to sue him for having sex with them and not telling them he was HIV positive. It's up to 10 victims, and Charlie Sheen recently said that 2 of his partners did know, and they did choose to have sex with him anyways, and that they were getting help from his physician. So I don't know if those 2 lovers are part of the 10 that's suing him, but I know 2 that he said was aware, and that the 10 that are suing, they are suing for sexual battery, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. So I don't know how that's going to work out in the courts, but they want some money, and they probably need it, not since they got to buy this medicine, for HIV. So, But I don't know. I hope Charlie Sheen figure out something, and maybe he could just settle outside of court, so they don't have to pay court fees, or he, say he's gonna fight it and take it to court and show them that you can't take money from me because he don't want to give it up. Who knows? All that celebrity news. But either way, go wrap it up, be safe, and you won't have to worry about facing stuff like this. But moving along with unsavory people, Donald Trump is back in the news again, but this time it's because of a Sunday tweet. He tweeted about a graphic showing the latest homicides of 2015. But let me tell you how that whole graphic is wrong before I even get into the numbers of that graphic. One, that the website where he got the information from is not even a real bureau, a government bureau location that does those numbers. 2, the FBI say that they never even released 2015 homicide stats yet. So right there, Donald Trump, what are you talking about? But let me tell you what he said. He said, where is it? So I can show you guys. Okay, here we go. Blacks killed by police officers was 1%. Blacks killed by blacks was 97%. Blacks killed by white was 2%. Whites killed by policemen was 3%. And whites killed by whites was 16%. And whites killed by blacks was 81%. So he said we are killing, for the white deaths, 81% come from African American, and he's saying basically that blacks killing blacks, it was 90%. And he's saying that also whites killed by policemen was more than blacks killed by policemen, because they say black was 1% and whites was 3%, which, let's be real, we don't believe that in this country. Like, I don't need your stat to tell me that, Donald Trump, because I don't believe it. I wouldn't believe it if I was asleep and it was in my dream. But last year's record shows of homicide deaths that out of the 2,451 murders, 90% of the homicides were committed by black people and 8% was committed by white people. But in the white homicide, which was 3,021, that 82% was by white people and 15% was done by black people. But listen to those numbers. There were more white homicides than black homicides in 2014. So we're not even that killing of each other as Donald Trump trying to portray us to be, or trying to make people believe that we are, because their rate for 2014 was at 3,021 and ours was at 2,451. So if anything, y'all doing more homicides, killings than African Americans. What you gotta say about that, Donald Trump? But also to show off, radical behavior by white people, 2 days prior to the tweet that he tweeted about the graph, he was at a rally in Birmingham, Alabama, and there was a black protester for the Black Lives Matter. He was jumped by a couple of Donald Trump supporters. They punched him, they kicked him, they roughed him up, they shoved him around and everything else. And while that incident was going on, Donald Trump said, "Get him out of here." So he didn't even try to encourage his supporters to stop the violence and say, "No, y'all, that's not what we do. We're not violent people, so let's not be violent." But no, he encouraged them and tell them he needed to get them out of here. So what does that say about Donald Trump? You more violent than us. You know what I'm saying? Because you encouraging this by your supporters, Mr. Trump. And then lastly, about Donald Trump, the next day after the incident happened, he went on Fox News on a phone call interview, and they asked him about it, and he said, and I quote, let me quote this for you. Where is it? Oh, here you go. "Maybe he should have been roughed up because he was absolutely disgusting at what he was doing." So he doesn't even feel remorse at the fact that they did this to this man. Like, it was probably about 6 of them, and that they roughed this guy up and they just shoved him around, and he basically saying it should have happened. Do y'all really want that for a president? And and it just shows you that Donald Trump doesn't care about African American votes, clearly, because if he did, he wouldn't be going down that route, which is cool with me because he wouldn't get my vote anyways. So I wasn't even tripping. None of the Republicans getting my vote. But it just shows you that Donald Trump, now he's the true definition of don't care for black people. But honestly, with Donald Trump, I don't think he cares about anyone that's not white. And not even just white. I think he mean rich white like him. So this shows you a lot of his character. This shows you a lot about who he is and how that if he's president, he's going to try to give us the lowest of the low and the less of the less, and try to make us feel as we're just such horrible and radical people, which is not true, because showing 2014 stats of homicide, white people had more killings than African Americans. So that just show you that we're not even as radical as they try to portray, as the media and other people try to portray us to be. And with that being said, I just want, African Americans to know that we don't have to be radical. We don't have to be crazy. We don't have to kill. We don't have to do anything, because we are such a strong race at itself. And when you think about how far we came from being completely, absolutely nothing in this country, like lower than a dog, to a president in the White House. So we can do that. We can really accomplish a lot. And look how when Obama wanted to be president, we came together and we moved it. Look at Pat LaBelle pies. She sold out. I went to Walmart twice and still didn't find another pie, and I wanted one. So that shows you, if we come together and we put our mind to something, we can really make a wave, a change. So, and I think that's really what he feared, because he knows that is true. So he want to, play on minds like we're so radical and we're so crazy by putting up that inaccurate graph of 2015 homicide charts, which haven't even been released yet. So don't listen to Donald Trump. Don't let him discourage you from what you're doing or make you feel like you shouldn't be black, because you are who you are and God do everything for a reason. So if you're African American, encourage it and love it and be proud of it, because too many people fought for you to love who you are and have the right to show that you love who you are in this country and died to show it. So you need to show it to the next generation and to the next child and the next person that there's nothing wrong with being black. It's absolutely not. It's not. We're human just like everybody else. But moving along in news, I want my prayers to go up to New Orleans, to the city of New Orleans, and the mass shooting that took place Sunday night in the Ninth Ward on Gallier Street at Bunny Friend Park. I just pray. It was up to 17 people were injured, but no one has been reported dead. But I know one person was reported to never be able to walk again. And the people who were involved, who actually got shot by a bullet, was between the ages of 10 and 37. There was about 1,500 people outside, and I don't know what encouraged them guys to just go out there and start like shooting and start, putting other people's lives in danger, but they did. And I pray that the NOPD find them and give them the proper justice that they deserve, because not only were they selfish in their acts, but they ruined the lives of someone else, and that they, was selfish and they were just radical on their behavior. And I just pray that we as African Americans just rise up against that negative mindset and that violent tendency to want to hurt one another. And I pray that we can really move forward and just learn to love. Just learn that love is the only cure to any hate of the world. And no matter who the hate is delivered by, if you love them, it can really make a difference. And I know it's hard to love someone you don't know, but God loved us. And, we're not the best people all the time. So if God can do it, I know we can definitely do it, because we were created in His image. But that's all the news I have. But stay tuned, because I have an interview with Morgan Hadley, and she's talking about her future plans of running for mayor and how she have a dream to reach the youth and bring them out of this dark depression. Stay tuned, because you're watching the Tatyana Show. Welcome to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and today who I have with me is Morgan Hadley. She has future plans of running for mayor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tatyana. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you have dreams of running for mayor. So tell me, what gave you that inspiration to want to run for mayor of Tupelo?
Well, about 2 years ago, at the Mississippi Honors Banquet, which is held every year, to honor those who've come through Mississippi or grew up in Mississippi who are now very successful, Stedman Graham was actually the speaker that night, and he was speaking or reading a book about the tortoise and the hare. We've all read that book, and it's about slow and steady wins the race, how the tortoise actually won over the hare. But during his speech, he was basically saying, how if you have a passion, follow your dream. Don't let anybody discourage you, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. And he also talked about how whatever job you're doing, do the best at that job at that time, because you never know, when somebody's watching and if you can get promoted and things of that nature. So that night, while I was listening, I wrote on the program, I'm going to be mayor of Tupelo. And it was just a thought at the time. And so I wrote it and I stuck it in my Bible, and then that was in 2014. In 2015, or 2015, I kind of kept getting the urge that I wanted to be mayor. It just kept coming up, and I actually opened my Bible and looked at it, and I opened the program and it said, I'm going to be mayor of Tupelo. And so, the urge kept getting stronger, the desire kept getting stronger, so I was just like, Mom, I'm gonna run for mayor. And so that's how it's been going ever since.
Okay, so running for mayor, what is one of your big target things that you want to hit?
My platform basically is going to be for the youth, by the youth, and I'm basically, campaigning and being the voice of the youth. It's time that, our community raises up and builds up a youth that can serve and that can lead. And that's basically what I want to do. I want to help the youth establish that foundation where they can go forth and be successful, not only in Tupelo, but anywhere else around in the surrounding areas. But running for mayor, that's what my platform will be about. That's what my target goal will be. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a community to raise the youth. And I feel like if we grab a hold of our youth and come together as one and be united, we can raise our youth to be very successful in the future.
Okay, so the youth is one of your main targets. So, are you working? Are you involved with any youth programs around here in Tupelo?
I am. I'm actually involved in a lot of youth programs at White Hill Missionary Baptist Church. I'm a tutor here. I'm actually a youth ministry leader at White Hill Missionary Baptist Church for a group known as True Divas, which stands for Divine, Intelligent, Virtuous, Anointed Sisters. And it's basically for young ladies so we can empower them and encourage them to do their best and to walk in their purpose that God has called them into. Basically, it shows them that, they can be women of the word instead of women of the world. Because, nowadays, you have all these celebrities who are saying otherwise and they're kind of following this path. But we're trying to teach them that, hey, it's okay to want to be a woman who dresses nicely and doesn't have to, show off her body parts, anything like that, in order to be liked. If you be yourself and you build up your self-esteem and you're empowered, you can be successful at whatever you want to do in life.
Okay, so since you already have familiarization with working with the youth, what is one of the challenges you face with youth kids?
Actually, the challenge right now, is trying to get down on their level and understand what they need and what they're wanting. Graduating high school almost 6 years ago, what they go through now, we don't go through, or we didn't go through. And so it's kind of difficult to see, okay, you're dealing with this, we didn't have to deal with that. So having to understand what the problem is, let's get to the core of the problem, let's find a solution, and then let's work it out so it can be working towards your good and not towards the negative of any situation that you're going through. That's really the big challenge that's going on right now.
Okay, so what is one of the things that you enjoy about working with the youth?
One thing I enjoy is just being around them. They can teach you so much in just a little amount of time, especially younger children. They're innocent, they don't really know what's going on, and they enjoy life without any problems. As you get older and when you get out of high school and you go into college and get jobs, you're starting to become an adult, and so you're really worried about life. But when you're younger, they seem to have no worries, and that's what, I enjoy about working with the youth, that they can be carefree, and they allow you to be carefree along with them, and they don't judge you, and they like to have fun, and that's the real big part, the best part about working with you.
Okay, so that the youth, I know that a lot of them have to take the test known as the Common Core. What are your thoughts about the Common Core?
Common Core is totally different from when we were in school. But, it challenges their mind. It can be hard at the same time. Because a lot of children, they're visual learners. They have to see it to understand it. And tutoring kids, I've seen it. They come in, they be like, I don't know how to do this. Well, how do you do this? And it's just like, okay, I actually take the time, and other tutors as well will actually take the time and go right on a blackboard, and we'll actually work the problem out with them and show them, and that's what I feel like a lot of kids are needing. Common Core, it shows them, but sometimes they just need the extra step. So that's what, Common Core is not bad. Common Core is a good thing. It's just, challenging, and it's preparing them for what's to come in college.
Okay, so do you have any plans to help them to accept those challenges well for the Common Core so they can, make good grades and pass it?
Of course, one thing that I would want to see happen, if I become mayor of Tupelo, would be that I would want a mentoring program to actually take effect. And basically what the mentoring program will have after school tutoring and as well as counseling sessions. But, it'll give them the opportunity to get counseling and to get tutoring that will be, helpful to them. But it also gives them opportunity to do other things. Like if they want to go play basketball, you can go play basketball. If they want to have vocal lessons, I know there's some people that can teach you how to sing, or not teach you how to sing, but give you vocal lessons. You want to learn how to play an instrument? Well, let's go learn how to play an instrument together. You want to learn how to cook? Well, let's go bake a few cupcakes. You know, let's do something that can show them that we care, give them the attention that they need, but yet instill it will instill in them. You know, education is important. That comes first. So you can't do any other thing until you get your schoolwork done.
So I know your right now plans is running for mayor. Do you have future plans of, you know, becoming senator, governor?
Well, we'll just have to see what God says in the end.
Okay. So, you know, as mayor, you will have to face things like stuff like voting and laws and stuff. So what is your thoughts on the Initiative 42 thing that just passed?
The Initiative 42, well, I believe that the 42, the Initiative 42 was basically that the government had a hand in it if you voted for it. Now, being, you know, a product of the Tupelo Public School Districts, my mom was very involved in my school and me and my sister as well. And, you know, she was there at PTO meetings. She was there, you know, when my sister played ball, and she helped out with that. When I was in the band, she helped with that. Anything that we needed for school, if we didn't understand, my mom, you know, grades, my mom was on the computer with the teachers, emailing back and forth. And I feel like that's what parents need to do. They should always stay involved in their child's lives. You know, even if you can't email the child's teacher every day, you know, sit at home and ask the child what happened at school today. You know, what are you not understanding? Make sure that you're always aware of what's going on in the child's life. And I feel that with Initiative 42, that if the government is involved, it can kind of be like they'll cover up things that the parents won't know about. And I feel like that should not happen. I feel that, you know, we shouldn't allow the government to raise our children. You know, parents, if you're a parent, raise your child. And take action and take, you know, pay very close attention to what's going on in your child's school. And not only school, and pay them attention, period. You know, they have a policy out called the zero tolerance policy, which basically, you know, just to get to the base of it, is basically, you know, it can take the child from a classroom to a jail room just like that. And to me, it's just like, you know, children act out more so because they want attention. And if they're not getting that attention at home, they're going to come to school and try to act out to get that attention, you know. And as teachers, you shouldn't want to just throw them out of the classrooms. You know, some children, I understand, can be, you know, very hard to handle. However, you know, showing them attention, you know, if you just have to, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I understand. You know, if you just have to pull them to the side and see what's going on and paying that child attention, that could probably rule out a whole lot of the kids going to the Fillmore Center or going to juvenile detention centers. So that's what I think, that, you know, Initiative 42, good plan. I just think the government shouldn't really be involved.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited for you and your future plans to running for mayor, and I'm pretty sure that the city of Tupelo is ready to see a young person coming out trying to help for the youth. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have on the Tatyana Show. Thank you once again, Morgan, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And also thank you for watching.